stream, and second one is called as a lake, as well as different types of wetlands such as the peatlands or bogs, marshes and swamps. These are the freshwater environments. Aquatic features such as the lake and wetlands depend on the climatic condition as well as the geological condition. Thereafter, different types of environmental condition. Those are responsible for to maintain the water bodies. Maintain the water body means to maintain the good quality of water. Streams are far more common, and because they are mostly present on the terrestrial habitat, so aquatic features those are to be taken place on the earth. On the earth, the ocean which is to be covered 71% of the water surface. So as well as we know that well proved that life originates into the different eras, and organisms those are to be gradually shifted to the fresh water then to the land, and water has several unique properties. So it is the most comfortable as well as different types of mediums for the animal life one. So when water is pure, then after we are use this water for a drinking purpose one. So water is necessary as a solvent for food, as an agent of chemical transportation of the material into the body one. So water is essential for survival of any type of life. So about 80% of Earth's surface is covered by the water. Out of eliminate the 1.0 million of total water which is to be represent on the earth one. Only 33,400 of water is available for drinking, agriculture, domestical as well as the industrial consumption. The rest of the water is locked up into the ocean. That means it is to be simply called as a salty water, and we know that we cannot be used such a type of salty water for our drinking purpose. So polar ice caps, glaciers as well as underground water water which is to be present on the earth one. So water is to be present into three forms one. So the water which is to be present into the first form, that is called as a atmosphere moisture. A circulation of atmosphere moisture is occur between the various component of environmental. Atmosphere moisture are non-visible vapors, and the ocean water is evaporated from the surface of ocean through the solar energy of sun, which results into the formation of water vapor one. So amount of water, that means amount of water vapor as well as the moisture which is found into the atmosphere, it is to be simply called as a absolute humidity. It is to be called as a absolute humidity, and relative humidity can be defined as the ratio of actual amount of water vapor in the atmosphere to the amount that can be held into the air at the particular temperature as well as the pressure one. So on the basis of that absolute as well as the relative humidity, we have to be calculated in this form one. So when the air gets warm up, then the relative humidity decreases because warm air can hold more moisture than the cool air. And as we all know that when the warm air is there, then after it is comes of the relative humidity, and moisture is also more than that particularly cool water. So most of the plants cannot make the use of atmospheric humidity, but there are certain species such as the lichen, mosses, ferns, epiphytic orchids, they are absorb moisture directly from the air, while the other plant absorb moisture and water by the absorption through the roots one, because the different plants are there and these are responsible for to absorb the environmental moisture one. So the water is very important for a life. When there are to be animals, included the animals, human being as well as the, that means the living things are required the water one, and without water we cannot live. We cannot be spend our life one. So every living thing, those are included into the plants, animal, whether they are required that water one. So water is used for different types of mechanism for support the life system, as well as the major abiotic factor. Water is a very much important factor one. So water is important for different types of purposes. So the water which is to be also formed on the basis of their precipitation, that means the water is present into the atmospheric moisture in the form of moisture, and second one, the water is also present in the form of the precipitation. So moisture falling on the earth's surface in the form of water vapor is called as a precipitation, or it is also called as a rainfall one, and it is mainly depend on the season. We know that into the rainy season there is to be fall the particularly rainfall. So it is mainly depend on the season, wind, air pressure, as well as the temperature one. So precipitation as well as rainfall has many ecological effects on the plant and their living organism. As we know that if rainfall is not there, so no life is taken place on the earth one. So on the earth there is important factor is the water one. So secondly, the water is also present into the soil as well as into the ground. So it is called as the soil water as well as called as a groundwater one. So that means the natural waters are to be there one. We cannot be included into the that particularly artificial. So soil water and groundwater is the least slowly cycling portion. So soil water can be defined as the water which is present under the sediment as well as under the ground. So what is meant by soil water? When the water is present under the sediments as well as under the rocks below the water table. So soil water play an important role in contribution to the ecosystem by their action. So water can be moved from one place to another place under the influence of the gravity one. So the soil water can be moved up